Yeah, so I used to be an Ohio State fan, and I'm not an Ohio State fan anymore. So I when Jim Tressel was there, I rooted for Ohio State in the national title game. I remember sitting there with my dad and yelling at the TV and cheering and stuff, and and being super excited when they won the national championship. Well, a few years after that, after I graduated college, I became the sports editor of the Salem News, just a little paper in Salem, Ohio. It's still there, but I was there for about 8 years. I was a sports editor there. I would write columns. I wrote a weekly column in there, especially throughout college football season and pro football season, because there was always a lot to write about between college football and the Browns and whatnot. So the year they made it was a national title game. It was them against Florida, I believe.
Yes.
And that was your Troy Smith won the Heisman too, right?
Yep, 2006.
So I wrote a column going into that game saying that Ohio State is going to lose this game, and they're going to lose it badly. Like, this is not even going to be close. Which,
so you nailed it.
Well, I did that about a week ahead of time. Well, then that column got shared on Ohio State message boards, and I got, in my email address and work phone number were attached to that, I got hundreds, I mean, if not close to 1,000 hate mails on that, just the most vile stuff, like death threats and I predicted it right. So what I ended up doing after this was like they lose the game, right? And so all I did was I just printed excerpts from the emails I got. I just censored them heavily for the newspaper, but it was just like, oh my God, like, and I was right. Like I could see like I was wrong. I didn't, I just said, and basically I just made the argument that year the SEC was just just as a conference was just better than what Ohio State had played.
I agree.
And so it was like another step, and I was like, in Ohio State, they kind of, the fans kind of had the blinders on and stuff, and I get it, you know what I mean? But I just thought that, Florida was a much better team, which they could prove to be. But so I don't root against Ohio State. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But it kind of sours you when you get, death threats from the fan base and for being correct on something.
100%. And when you're a sports writer, sports editor, whatever it might be, sports publicist, you have to give your opinions.
Yeah.
And there's going to be disagreements. And the thing with the internet that is awful, it's great to share content and to get our information out there, but it's also a real negative when, these keyboard warriors and stuff come at you for just sharing your opinion. You're not saying, oh, I hate Ohio State, I think Troy Smith sucks, or this and that. I think Ted Ginn will break his leg on the opening kickoff, or that. It's like you're literally just saying, I think Florida's the better team. I think they're probably going to win this game, blah, blah, blah. And, you're giving your opinions why. I mean,
thankfully that wasn't so this was just during message board era. This wasn't like, this was in 2004.
Pre-Twitter.
Pre-Twitter, pre-Facebook. Probably this is pre-Facebook even. So this was just message boards. So I can only imagine if it was also with social media and whatnot too, the way it is now. But look, I get it. Every fan base has crazies in it.
Yeah.
Every team, everywhere. You know what I mean? So it's just sort of different level, But yeah. So that's why it's sort of with Ohio State. It's like it'll kind of sour you when when that happens.
And I'll put this out there too. Like I have obviously I know most of my friends, most of my family and stuff that are close with me are Ohio State fans, but I do know several Michigan fans, and they're nice people. They go and are productive citizens in society. Some of them are very productive citizens in society. And I do have a friend, and they put out there, it's just like, why the hate? And it's like, why the hate towards other people for rooting for a fan base? Yeah, I don't like that Michigan, cheated the past couple of years. I don't like that they've beaten Ohio State the last couple of years, but that doesn't make me hate that person.
Right.
You can say you hate the team or whatever. That's one thing. You want them to lose, but it's like, and I'll probably get some pushback on that too, but it's like, there should be a line, it is still a game. It's still sports, but and I know it's so much more than that too, but the hate, the vitriol, the whatever you want to say, it's like, if it's ruining your life, because of a sports article or someone else's opinion online, maybe you need to take a step back, check yourself, look in the mirror, do some soul searching, stuff like that. So I don't know.
I will say it does give us some good brawl videos in the stands. There's always a couple idiot drunks that are throwing each other. I always look at people try to fight in the stands and like if they tumble down, this is not a good place.
No,
to be throwing
and generally, I will say that's more NFL than college football.
It is more NFL,
but still, like generally, you're going to see more fights on the field in Ohio State and Michigan. But and I get it. It's a way of life. It's more than just a game. But at the same time, if you're reduced to sending a death threat or this or that to someone because of their opinion is different than yours, you can disagree with them. You can have a friendly argument. That's fine. But it's like, if we're coming at you personally and doing this and that, and that, like you said, you're calling people's phone and writing nasty emails and hate letters. Like, I think we need to check ourselves in society a bit too. So
right.
okay. So